let's hop into one more here and give it a shot. Perfect food build start. I feel like I'm going to be running food build all the time just because of this collection of starting animals now that definitely, at least to some extent, incentivize doing so. So let's just bring all you pals in, shall we? And subtle, smooth, overpowered. Alliteration brain makes me want to go smooth scouts. Overpowered abs is kind of fun though. Let's go with the overpowered abs. We need a bit of strength, some core muscle here to pull us through some of these games. The hot rodents. I don't see any rodents on your squad. Something's wrong here. Can you imagine not living up to your name like that? Disgraceful. Just such a disappointment. It's not like I've ever done that or nothing. No. I am a much better person and not at all a giant hypocrite. Let's roll past, get a little bit of a buff on our new mosquito pals. Full bug build? In the works at the very least. Moody husbands. Hey, that's me sometimes. Well, this looks like a win. Beautiful. I think I found the secret. You just have to wait until late enough in the fight that it becomes a lot harder to guess wrong because everything's already laid out in front of you. Absolutely brilliant. But let's combine our mesquites and see what we get. Snail? Not quite what I was looking for, if I'm being honest with you. But I can freeze you. Freeze meat, roll once, see what we get. Because now we can remember for the first time in our lives to actually buff up the squirrel as intended. Just the way God intended. And then something like this for order. That seems good. I almost wouldn't mind losing this one. And in fact, it would probably appreciably help us out in the future. Otherwise, we're just going to have the snail frozen for all eternity doing absolutely nothing with their life. Meat not doing a whole lot for us when everything's too weak. And okay, snail is just frozen at least for another eon here. We'll see if anything changes. Could just keep buffing up our snail with beetle, but doesn't seem like that's actively going to help us out too much long term. Let's just roll me a couple of times. So now we do at least have level 2 beetle on the up and up. Let's drop this here. And maybe we won't commit to that until we see something we want to buy in the shop to fill out that last slot. Honestly, that might do it. It might be the trick here. It's that or tropical fish. So we could get some health buffs. Or weakness on one enemy when there's not too much equipment to overwrite at this stage in the game. I think that's actually a fairly straightforward decision. And let's just try this one on for size. Going to keep that snail frozen. Probably not a great idea having over half of your shop frozen early on. Not fantastic, but maybe just maybe we'll lose this one. Imagine. It looks like, oh, never mind. I didn't think our beetle survived that first hit, but no, we're just too strong. What can I say? Don't you just hate it when you're too good at something? Like, I'm just too powerful. Nobody can stop me. It just sucks. Life's so hard for me, you know? Please hit my beetle. You son of a... Okay. That's fine, I guess. I'm not upset or nothing. We'll just hard roll, spend way too much money in re-rolling. And garlic probably is a good idea for the future. How many snails can we get frozen? The one time we have like a flawless run is the one time we're getting all the snails you could possibly want. Serving up some sweet escargot today. Only thing is, we're allergic to it. So, an irony so dire, it should be a Alanis Morissette lyric. Why are we freezing Snail? We can't lose. Ah, but that's the thing. We trick the fates of this universe, because if we keep freezing Snail, then we do in fact ensure that we will never lose. Because how could they possibly stop this madness in the running, you know? The frozen snails are what gets us there, really. This is another one of those don't do as I do, do as I say. And I'm saying this is stupid. But are we going to do it? Oh, heck yeah. Not a doubt in my mind. Unless Snail 3 build, it is necessary. We could try and throw one round right in the middle, stack up all the snails to level 3 in one fell swoop. It'd be like the only time we ever take advantage of the level 2 snail ability as well. Could be onto something there. But for the time being here, do I want to add a bat to my squad? Doesn't seem great. Unless it's a 1/8 bat, then still probably not a good plan, but it's kind of fun. So let's sell this ladybug and put a 1/8 bat in the back. Brilliant. I mean, I definitely wasn't paying attention to our math there because now we're in a bit of an awkward spot, but roll deep, I guess. It's something. I do want Portal. What am I willing? Because freezing the whole shop, I mean, sure, freezing over half the shop with snails that we're never going to use, that's just sensical. But the whole shop? Are you out of your mind? Maybe. Maybe I am. Because we're going to do it. I don't even know if I'm buying half of this stuff. But hey, never know if we don't try, right? Oh my gosh, what? How are you making Big Bird build work? It was said to be impossible. Maybe it doesn't work? Never mind. Okay, confirm my own suspicions. It is in fact not feasible. Just not a thing. Good to know. Oh my gosh, especially freezing the whole shop on a turnover round. Ooh boy. That's gonna anger some people. There's certain levels of stupidity that you don't get to try out. So tropical fish, I think we're done with you. Can do a couple rerolls. Probably I want to feed something to my beetle and then bring turtle out into the mix. Seems like it could be fun. At least freeze you, because you're what I would feed to the beetle. Beautiful, unless something better comes along. Look at that game. You know me so well. You're even finishing my sentences. Can pop that down. A bit of a waste of the garlic at this point, but that's fine. Melon is so much better as we get onto the stage of the game. Especially since we're potentially going to be coming across some 2020 dogs or nonsense like that. Okay, never mind. I thought for a moment that they were going to wipe out most of their squad, but no, it turns out I'm stupid and they're brilliant. So unfortunately, it's not going to be the flawless run that I had hopes and dreams for. How could you, Snails? I believed in you, and this is how you repay me? Disgusting. In that case, we're gonna sell you. And I think we're just selling both. Level 3 Snail, you don't deserve it, Snail. Absolutely disgusting. Instead, actually, I say that, but do I want to? It's a weird one, right? We have lots of health, so we could afford more losses and have a bunch of snail buffs come into this. In which case, I should not have bought you. What I should have done is snail you, or pill you. Again, these turtles have a bit of a problem. I hate to be complicit in it. We're definitely supporting their bad habits with the pill usage, but sometimes these things need to be done. This is on buy, right? Let's just confirm that before we do something stupid that we regret for the rest of our lives. And last but not least, yeah, we want some garlic for that swan. It's much like our big duck build. You gotta get your swan. I don't know if I want to go through this joke, because I was gonna say add a pinch of garlic, a little bit of salt. You got a nice dinner. But I don't know. Do people eat swan? You don't hear about how swan tastes. That seems like a bit of an odd choice, doesn't it? One of the majestic creatures. One of the most beautiful things you can see out in the wild. And we're just gonna fry it up. Something seems a bit off there. I guess that's true of most of the animals we fry up, so maybe it's not as crazy as it might seem at first blush. But, okay. Snail time. Also, I didn't fully make the realization that our snail was 211, our strongest snail. So that's because we had them frozen for such a long time, right? And we fed our beetle enough. So that's wild. We should try and make that work out sometime in the future. Swans are mean animals? I don't doubt it. In fact, most of those waterfowl aren't exactly the nicest of critters, right? Because geese are also very aggressive. Very much a force of nature to be contended with. Swans are vicious. Yeah, I can imagine. Goose, swans, they attack people on sight. Oh man. Yeah, my wife is quite afraid of geese. Does not like them whatsoever. Was absolutely horrified when I kept trying to walk us, even within like a reasonable distance of geese when we last visited Vancouver Island, because there are tons of geese wandering around the park there. But hey, I can't blame her for it. It makes a whole lot of sense. We're gonna freeze the snail too, because apparently that's all we do in life these days. Sauropod is interesting, but it's nice that we're taking a little bit of a divergence from food build, because I feel like I was doing nothing but food for a while there, and sometimes you gotta mix it up, keep things interesting at the very least. The snail is gonna get there. I don't even know where to put you, snail. Maybe back here. You buddies hit a little harder at the very least. You can just be on cleanup duty. I mean, snails might be pretty good at cleanup duty. As long as it's not salt, they can just ooze on over it. They're huge. Oh, swans are definitely... I've only seen swans from a distance, but they definitely look like big critters. And yeah, Canadian geese and swans are definitely a force to be reckoned with. Okay. 2 more rounds. Almost don't want to win either of them. Start with some melon armor on our swan. Still possible to get to level 3 snail, I think. As long as all the stars align in just such a manner. Roll deep here. Not great. So maybe for this we put stake attack on our bat. And even though we don't get the advantage of snail this round, I think I'm smelling some victory in the breeze here, as long as we don't come up against too many 50-50 caterpillar squads. Save us some money, and unfortunately I might have done that at the most inopportune moment. Not bad. You wouldn't have killed the horse otherwise, or the dog rather, but alack alas. Fitting timing. That's what I get. Unfreezing a snail? What am I? Madman? You can't do that. You gotta keep them frozen until the last possible second. It's the only way we work in this department. Let's freeze you. We have a little bit of time before the end, so we could still try and force the snail into existence. So maybe I will actually just buy this. Roll me once. Okay. I'm going to regret buying you. If I roll one more time and I get a snail, should I even bother? Should I save myself the potential disappointment? I could get a chili pepper for a dolphin instead. Get a bit of a spicy dolphin going. This is a weird squad. I don't even know how we got this close to victory. I guess early wins is the answer. Should maybe think about questions in my head before I ask them out loud, because sometimes the answer is a bit more obvious than it might seem. There we go. And then you're still in cleanup. Let's actually keep the bat there. I feel like you're at least semi-likely to chunk down a big boy. Okay, come on, draw or win. We need this. Come on, game. I believe in you. Do you believe in me? There's a 50-50. I was worried about that. Yeah, it goes through the melon armor too. And Stake Bat doesn't exactly get a lot done, unfortunately. That was a fun one, though. The power of escargots, unfortunately, power is not quite strong enough. But it was close. Closer than it had any right to be, especially since we had those frozen in the shop for far too long and then just hard pivoted into trying to force the level 3 snail. I don't know if there's any other way to achieve the level 3 snail. Like, you'd kind of have to get perfectly lucky to space out your losses in just such a way that you can lose the requisite amount of times to gain the advantages from buying the snails without losing all your health. Otherwise, you fully just have to lean hard into something that's doing you absolutely no good. It's almost as bad as trying out the B run, which means maybe it's great, because the B run, pretty fantastic. No doubts in my mind. But okie dokie, let's go in for one final run of the evening here before we call it quits. And probably just play it by ear here, fly by the seat of our pants, see if there's anything else, some new animals maybe to show up. Llama, haven't tried out the 4 squad party yet, could be fun.